This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's Sweetheart, Davian. And
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hello, and welcome to the show at Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today. Previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday, and interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox. Sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, that guy, James J., alongside the leader of Squash Squad, Kaliko Yas.
You smell that? Smell Pisces season coming, baby. Woof, woof. It's my birthday. Not yet, but...
Yeah, and it's so 2 years.
Not really, because technically it's like February 29th, 2024.
Oh, okay. And I completely missed 3 years. Oh, interesting. And the American Scooter Dust.
I like Hogwarts Legacy.
And it was a good week for Wrestling With as we interviewed Jay Macias, coming up in the ranks of Creator Pro, Victory Pro, Scooter's old stomping grounds, the NYWC connection.
Hold on, I gotta stop you there for a second. Then it would be, based on what you just said, it would be the New York Wrestling Connection.
Well, you gotta connect to the connection, clearly.
Redundant acronym, RAS syndrome. Redundant acronym syndrome.
And, he's coming up, doing great things. Already had a TV championship match against Bobby Orlando, your mom. Looking forward to seeing what he does in the future. And on Wednesday, we interviewed Ruby Roberts, our first interview from Scotland. Incredible interview. Ruby's doing some fantastic things. She has an upcoming match against Lana Austin. Everything. We talk a lot of interesting things on there, so you definitely want to check that one out as well. This upcoming Tuesday, we got Erica Damia. A girl, she just had her first match about a month ago, and we talk all about that. My Hero Academia, being a second-generation wrestler, vlogging, getting murdered during, practice, and that going viral, and a lot more. Wednesday, we have Josh Breezy, alumni from the Nightmare Factory. There are stories about QT Marshall, Cody Rhodes. We talk all things wrestling, we talk all things music, and we even talk all things paranormal. You're definitely not going to want to miss that, but don't take my word for it yourself. Who has the most squishy face?
I would definitely say I have the most squishy face, actually. I don't know why, but my face is like really stretchy and squishy, and it's honestly strange.
Well, you did do this segment with a few notable names. Tony Storm, The Acclaimed, Anthony Green.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about squishing their faces?
Well, they all had some pretty interesting reactions to it. Some of them were like, "Hey, I want to know what the question is before we start recording, if that's all right." And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And their reactions are like, "Okay, yeah, let's do it." I feel like it's just something that nobody expected, which is kind of why I wanted to do it. Like, it started off as a joke, but then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this, because why not?
How did it come to be that you just squishing pro wrestlers' faces?
Well, I mean, that's kind of just something that I do in real life. I like to boop people, I like to squish people's faces, because I like to annoy my friends a lot. That is how I show my love for them. I annoy them.
My favorite figure. I would have to say my favorite Jeff Hardy action figure is one of the more recent WWE Elites with the blue face paint that you could probably get at Walmart right now for like $9 on clearance. But it is my favorite because it was the first figure that my wife bought me for Christmas, and she bought it. She paid full ringside price. She got it in a Defender, everything like that, and she got it for me. And then I saw it in the store, so I picked it up because I need two anyway, one to display loose and one to keep mock. So then I got it in the store, and then like 2 weeks later, it was on clearance already for like $15, and she had just paid like double the price. So anytime we'd go to Walmart after that, she would just be mad that it was so much cheaper. But it was but that's got to be my favorite because that's the first figure that she's ever bought me.
Alright, and on the 28th, we got Eli's Swords, Boards Are Not Real. March 1st, we have Nova. The 7th, we have Mars the Specialist. And on the 15th, we have the promoter of Joe Kazana Promotions, Joe Kazana. So a lot of big things happening for wrestling. Alright, time for the news. It was not a great day for wrestling as we lost a legend in Jerry Jerrett. Obviously the promoter of the Tennessee, and anybody that was anybody came through his promotion. Whether you like the guy or you dislike the guy, you can't deny that he had a major impact on pro wrestling. And we've lost a few legends way too soon. The last couple of months, and I mean Jerry was 80, so as much as it sucks that we lost a legend. I mean, he lived his life, didn't he?
Oh, absolutely. I think I'm normally I'm typically the one we go to in stuff like this, but given Jerry Jarrett and the history where he comes from, I think it's only right if Coleco shares his knowledge growing up. Really, essentially almost living in Jerry Jarrett's shadow by being a Tennessee, native.
Correct.
Oh yeah, he lived it his way, and well, first of all, thank you, Scooter, because it would have been hard to follow up with you anyway, because you always do these things. No, seriously, you do these. I promise you, I've never seen in my life. I've never seen one who can do it like you, man. Like
Thank
you,
you, my friend.
so I give you that. But in my eyes, without Jerry Jarrett, I wouldn't have known wrestling. And it's easy to think, a lot of people in the generation like James, you grew up with it being nationalized, but I don't think you knew how important the Memphis territory was. Like, Memphis in the 70s was literally the wrestling capital of the world. And I'll stand on that until the day I die, because the one thing that this audience did, and for better or for worse, Southerners kind of get a bad rap, but when it came to the wrestling, we really believed it. And you could check the stories of people who, when wrestlers, they were working in the ring and they would beat up somebody, and there was people coming from the crowds trying to beat the wrestlers up to try to fend for the other wrestler, right? So, like, when I say we took it to heart, we took that shit to heart. And I think Jerry Jarrett he gets a lot of flack, but without him, there's no Rock, there's no Stunning Steve Austin, there's no Undertaker, there's no Kane, there's no K Quick. I mean, anybody who was everybody worked Memphis, because Memphis was the map. There's no Andy Kaufman, there's no Jerry Lawler, there's no Jeff Jarrett. And that's my point. And even without him, technically there wouldn't be a WCW. I mean, it, it the tentacles that he touches in the southern area alone, because a lot of people don't know the USWA. It stretched from Tennessee, but it went as west as Texas. So it was like in the Dallas, San Antonio, Sportatorium, all those there was when it was working with the Von Erichs and such. So it was a very, very important person for the talent to get a national platform in a southern way, because to me, Vince was pulling people, but a lot of the people that he pulled was from those southern territories, and not to mention that those southern territories were a training ground to try storylines that ended up in WWF. The one that I know for sure that happened, it was the Nation of Domination. It actually ran through the Memphis circuits like wildfire, because lo and behold, Bill Dundee's kids, JC Ice and Wolfie D, were the rappers who would rap and join the Nation, and they would keep that storyline going to USWA. I mean, and then it would go on to the main stage. Wrestlers like the Moondogs, guys who are local legends, wouldn't be local legends. The Bill Dundees, even though he never made it to any real big WWF or WWE platform, but in the South, he's a fucking legend, and that's, what I mean, all thanks to Jerry Jarrett. So he deserves it, and it feels bad that we lost him, but he lived a life, and he left a hell of a legacy. And he bred a son who probably worked damn near every territory and has the most lives in wrestling ever, Jeff Jarrett.
Yep.
So to me, this is more of a celebration of his work, and rest in power, man. He can actually say he did a job well done for the professional wrestling world.
Scooter, anything you want to
Um, if I could, describe Jerry Jarrett in one or two words pertaining to what he meant to not just one promotion but wrestling in general, it's that he was never disliked. He might be the only one, at least one of the few people that worked for both WCW and WWF during the Monday Night Wars. He was a consultant for both of them, and everywhere everything everywhere he went, you felt his presence. even after he stepped away. You have Vladimir Kozlov, who Jerry took to Stanford personally.
Wow.
Because he saw a star in Kozlov. Okay. Well, all right, we can't all be right 100% of the time.
There's been some hits and misses. We could all agree with that.
I mean, and when 50% of those misses belong to Jeff, it's still he's again I think if there ever is a literal pro wrestling Mount Rushmore, I definitely think Jerry Jerrett has a space on there.
Great. I've heard, like we've said, there are some controversy when it comes to Jerry Jarrett, whether you like him or dislike him. But I mean, that's any promoter, especially nowadays. But yeah, I agree with you on that, honestly. I think Jerry would be on there just for his contributions to the business. Alright. Of course, thoughts and prayers to the friends and family of Jerry. Alright. Now on to some news. CM Punk is expected to be back in April. Where he will show up, nobody knows at this point. Or will he just go into the good night? Kaliko, should we be talking about CM Punk after
No,
all?
no, no. And I know why you asked me because I'm the Stan. But even the Stan has to stand for what's right, right? Until he make amends on what happened, he needs to make amends with a whole group of people before he even sets foot. Now, granted, people are going to want to work with him, but right now his name is dealt with toxic, so he's got to have a whole image rebuild before he even talks about it.
You think if he makes those amends that we will see him? Is he willing to do an amends? I feel like he kind of is.
Won't believe it till I see it. Like, that's the thing. You gotta won't believe it till you see it happen. And some people are gonna like him regardless and see his point, which I get it. I see his point sometimes, but he went there thinking that he went there with the mentality that he despised. So that's where he has to make the amends, where he looks at himself in the mirror and realizes he became the person he hated. Remember that speech? You are what you hate, CM Punk. So until that happens, I kind of got nothing else to say. I still think he's a good wrestler. Still think he was a catalyst in me getting back to wrestling. But until all that happens, I have nothing else to say.
What say you, Scooter?
I can only imagine what the reaction would be if Punk was the post WrestleMania Raw return.
So you think that it's legitimately a possibility that he goes to WWE?
I would not put it I would not put it out of mind. just yet. I think, if anything, I really think that's what happens. But other than that, who knows?
Well, like you said, who knows at this point? If you believe rumor and innuendo, Ace Steel was apparently at Royal Rumble trying to broker a deal for Punk to come to the company. Whether you believe that or not, I didn't see anybody with teeth marks on them. So I don't. Who knows at this point? But would Tony Khan even how if he knew what was up, Tony Khan, would he even allow something like that to happen? Considering Punk is still under contract, as far as we know with AEW.
Well, let's not forget that Tony sent out another letter about contract tampering.
That's right.
Supposedly, like, okay, you can't talk to these people anymore. But I mean, is oh no, I would say no, there'd be only one person. There would only be one person I would want to see him against in the WWE regardless. So
who would that be?
Bray Wyatt.
CM Punk versus Bray Wyatt?
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a visual.
I mean, maybe Punk Gunther.
Oh my God, Gunther would squish him.
I know, maybe that's how you humble him.
I mean, it seems like every time I go on Twitter at this point, CM Punk is always trending. Why, after everything that happened, let's go for as far as the 7 years that he was out from WWE. Why is he always trending? Why is he always the topic of discussion when there isn't even an inkling of him doing anything?
Remember, trending doesn't necessarily mean popular.
That is true.
I guess so.
The war in Ukraine trends doesn't mean it's popular.
Especially in the Ukrainian and Russian area. Speaking of unpopular, Thunder Rosa made a comeback to AEW. Not as a wrestler, but as an announcer for the Spanish announce team. Apparently, there was a backstage meeting where she had to make amends with some of the girls she had heat with. Kaliko, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, she made amends, so they're cool with it. I'm cool with it. I just wish that I just hope this is just her doing double duty, kind of like Jericho, because I think that division needs more gatekeepers, and Thunder Rosa is one good gatekeeper to be the test person. Like, if you beat her, you're kind of ready for the title shot.
Well, she's still currently injured, dealing with a back injury. So obviously she's not going to be gatekeeping at this point. But what are your thoughts, Scudo?
I mean, honestly, I think this is relatively minor news. I mean, let's not, let's not sugarcoat things. The foreign announced teams will always be seen as inferior to non-native speakers, and that includes how foreigners react to the U.S. commentators as well. It's not just us thinking we much rather hear it in English, but Thunder Rosa is part of the Spanish announced team. Hooray!
Well, so I'm assuming you didn't do your research and listen to AEW in Spanish in order to get a feel of what she's doing?
Su mamá con mi perro en la biblioteca.
I'm the only one
That's right.
sacrificing things for
I said your mama's with my dog in the library.
Oh, all I do is bolsa en la basura. Bolsa en la basura. I should make a song like that in reggaeton and it'll be killer.
Do you think it's somewhat inappropriate that AEW management had her literally go in front of the other girls and essentially make amends with them? Is it that like a humbling experience? Is that
Yes.
Yeah.
Humility is a. She won the title and kind of became like, I'm above it.
Plus, you also have to wonder, is this something she wanted?
That's the question.
Did she want to be part? I mean, I'm assuming it's either this or get flat out released. Since I don't believe the WWE would be interested.
I mean, how could I heard reports
I mean,
a while back ago that they were, but
I mean, maybe with the fact that Mexican and Hispanic and luchadoras are they're kind of coming back into the spotlight with that Netflix show with Rey Mysterio, where Rey Mysterio's voice is in Spanish is actually dubbed over, despite the fact that he can speak perfect Spanish.
That makes absolutely no sense, but okay.
Exactly. Plus, is she still able to get in the ring?
Well, as of right now, I've heard she has all the intentions of getting back in the ring. She's dealing with a back injury.
But, this seems to be a curse with AEW.
Great talent getting injured?
No, when they put talent that could eventually get back into the ring, they either end up never getting back in the ring, or they just end up, doing something menial. Mark Henry, Paul White, Chris Jericho, Jake Hager's hat.
Christian.
Don't it sound like you don't sing the song when you go to the event?
I mean, Jungle Jew Jack Perry.
Did you say Jungle Dew? I mean, he does have great hair.
No, Jungle Jew. Jew versus Christian. God, nobody remembers this Paul Heyman comment from Edge Christian at Rebellion 2001.
Rebellion 2001. Okay.
In the steel cage, where Paul Heyman goes, I don't go around naming my son Jew.
Okay, but that would make sense because that was a UK only paid preview.
Well,
what were we talking about again?
I think we were talking about
the Bengal pose?
Fish, Captain Stabbin.
Cool. Alright, that brings us to our next bit of news. WWE interested in Kenny Omega, Jay White, Kota Ibushi, Tama Tonga, and Hikuleo. I mean, those are some heavyweight names. Depending on who you ask, Kenny Omega may not be available. Jay White will be very available in the next couple months. I believe. Kota Ibushi is available right now.
Next couple months, he might be available next week.
Yes, yeah. And Tama Tonga and Hikuleo, we're not sure. Let's start with Kenny Omega. I think Kenny Omega would be great in WWE. But why would he go to WWE when he has power in AEW? Kaliko.
The same reason Cody Rhodes left to finish something that was started. I mean, but the only thing is, the only difference between him and Cody is that his buddies are still at AEW, and he's very close with the Bucks. So I don't see him ditching them whatsoever.
Kenny Omega is another name that, was invincible, had a great, he had great matches, all that stuff, got hurt in AEW, hasn't really been the same. So, I mean, it is a safer work style in WWE now.
It's a safer work style, but he's had a better schedule at AEW. Why the hell would he leave that?
Because the guys that in WWE won't try to murder him like they do in AEW.
That still don't change the fact that he runs it, so he can take a day off whenever he wants to.
Scooter?
Well, Omega has always had a positive relationship, mutual respect with Triple H. And yeah. And I believe once it was revealed that there might be a chance at getting Kenny, I think all interest in Jay White has fizzled out until they get a definite answer. But there are numerous dream matches that Kenny could have, and I can't imagine if Kenny is in control of his career and has the opportunity, why not do it and say, you know what, I'll do it, and it's proof I got to the WWE on my own terms, on my own schedule.
Do you think WWE would be accommodating in that remarks, in that regard?
Absolutely. I absolutely think so.
Right, well, let's talk about Jay White. Out of everybody in this group, I think he would be the most adaptable to the style because he is a good wrestler. Not exactly strong style, but I always thought Jay White was a bit of a Bret Hart, where he could kind of work with anybody. Personality wise, things are gonna have to be adjusted. But what are your thoughts, Kaliko?
Well, it depends on how he comes in. I think he is a good, like, cunning heel type of person, right? Kind of like baiting people in and then catching them with the okey doke rather than being like this blunt force heel. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not too chicken shit, but more like slick and sly. And if they let him work slick and sly, because to me, when he was at New Japan, it was a little bit of both. He was a little bit more frontish, but he was also slick and sly. I think his personality in New Japan seemed more slick and slyish. So if they let him be like cunning and don't try to undercut him with it, it wouldn't matter whether he wins or loses because it's about him trying to set people up for a bigger bait. Does that make sense? A bigger trap to set. So that I think could work for him in that regard.
What say you, Skrilla?
As much as I'd love to say see Jay White, in WWE. I'm faltering more on him not being there. I mean, keep in mind, every one of them now will be measured against the debut of AJ Styles.
Really?
Yeah. Because, okay, when AJ came in, it wasn't former Impact star. It was former IWGP Heavyweight Champion, and that's the measuring stick. And if you get AJ involved in his debut, then I think not only do you get more interest in Jay White, but you can really build, that Bullet Club NWO stable that's kind of really missing from wrestling today. I mean, AEW overdoes it, and not only do they kill the horse, but they beat it so far. It's it's now in China. I think Jay White is really a matter. I think it's really going to come down to really Triple H's opinion, and I really think it would come down to AJ's opinion.
I mean, AJ hasn't. I don't think AJ had any interactions
No.
with Jay White.
No. But AJ would know, would have the most weight on whether or not Jay White comes in, because AJ really came from the same place.
Going back to Kenny Omega, if he does join WWE, does he bring Rio with him?
I mean, I think he.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not, because there's this person named Asuka who's gonna whoop that ass.
I mean, who would want to see a Rio versus Zelina Vega match, where the person that weighs the most in the ring is the referee?
Yeah.
I mean,
That would be
it would be the only time the ring would actually seem like a trampoline.
Yeah.
So basically, it would be the Sky Zone match.
I don't think Rio comes with him. I think Emi Sakura does.
The Queen goal? The Joy Mercury? Eddie Mercury? Well,
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury. There you go. Freddie Mercury, looking check?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we're just going with, trashy pop stars, then Maki Ito would be everybody's first choice.
Oh, I had Maki Ito, at the Japanese restaurant, a couple nights ago.
Those with
I love that type of sushi.
Yeah. Alright, Kota Ibushi, he bluntly stated he'd be interested coming into WWE if he was allowed to train and teach the wrestlers at the Performance Center and come in for big matches. Would you put Kota Ibushi on the main roster, or would you put him as a main attraction for NXT?
Here's the thing. Yep. Back when Adam Pearce, the news was announced that Adam Pearce was being signed, we were like, "Oh yes, this is going to be awesome." Scrap Iron's finally getting finally going to be on Raw. But no.
He's on every week?
Yeah, he's on every week, but people don't remember how good of a wrestler he was now. So if he gets put into that trainer role, I would see the WWE absolutely taking him up on that offer. Because, I mean, it opens up a much, it allows a completely, well, not new style, but a completely different style that really hasn't been a focus in WWE development. I mean, I also do think that you bring in Kota like that, I think more Japanese talent will want will want to work. I mean, imagine an NXT Strong Style Championship.
Oh no, God, no. No.
Hey, it's either that or the NXT Cruiserweight Championship.
I mean, cruiserweight strong style seems like something Gigi could go for. You know, when she's not going for shoes.
Or when she's, being Marty Jannetty.
Yeah. But I think that's an interesting concept. Maybe a golden pair of shoes are the new titles. Shoes are the new belts.
I mean, considering how she ate a shoe, literally, I don't think we can be talking.
What are your thoughts, Coleco, on Kota Ibushi coming into WWE?
Well, the training part, I agree with Scooter 10,000%. The big matches thing is more of a why would he need to go into the big match, right? They would have to have a reason to draw him in, and the only tie that you could see is if you got Omega, but then yeah, that wouldn't work.
But Nakamura.
Nakamura, but that would be like more. That would seem more like a tag. So that's the part. But as far as like giving a new perspective on the training, hell yeah, because that honestly, personally, I always think that they should have different people who are different trainers so they could get different talent and have it all work together. I'm surprised they don't have a person who's admin in lucha training, or and
That was.
to me,
I think they
to
did. I think
me,
that was. I think that might have been included under Sarah Del Rey's, but
Sarah Del Rey, that's right, Sarah Del Rey.
Is
But I feel like
there?
she's there, right?
Yeah, she's still there as far as
Yeah, but they're gonna need different styles to attract different talent, because sometimes, especially with Japanese wrestlers, the one barrier that gets them is the English barrier, and if you had someone who could help them get over the English barrier as far as promos, that to me would be the biggest uh, asset for anybody. Because the one thing with Nakamura knew English, Nakamura loved American culture, Nakamura knew American culture, and he adapted to it as Kenny did to Japanese culture. Not everybody's willing to do that. But to have that buffer would be a big, big help.
No disrespect to Kota Ibushi, but he is self-taught. He didn't train under, Giant Baba or Akechi Muto or any of those guys. Do you want a guy training your new guys and girls that didn't get proper training himself?
uh hmm.
I don't see why not. I mean, because some things that they're going to want to do is off instinct anyway. So what better way to do it from someone who actually been in those shoes of self instinct?
Plus, you do have one trainer there who is somewhat familiar with Japanese Japanese strong style. That's Steve Carino.
Oh, and Albert.
Both like I could see something along the lines of, and it'd be a great way for Steve Carino to actually get on WWE TV as a character.
I mean, does he need it though?
I mean, if you're going to make Kota a trainer as well, I mean, unless you're gonna like, unless you're going to bring Regal in to do another Combat Club, which, and honestly, I think he's coming back with his son sooner rather than later.
No, it's going to be later rather than sooner. Because his contract clearly states he can't be an on-air personality.
Well, William Regal can't be an on-air personality. Say hello to the real man's band, Steve Regal. He's a man. I also think if you sign Coda, then he's gotta bypass NXT.
I disagree with that because if he doesn't go to NXT and he goes straight to the main roster, not a lot of people is going to know who he is. I'm sorry, that's going to be the case. At least in the NXT, you have more wrestling fans than you have the casual fans. So you're going to get a pop for Kota Ibushi if you throw him onto an NXT.
I mean, he was in the Cruiserweight Classic. I mean,
Yeah, but
counts
that
as
was
something.
like, what, 5 years ago?
It was like 20 years ago.
That's what
I mean,
2020
and
was.
I mean, he did go to the semifinals.
Yeah, but you would still have to reintroduce him to the crowd. What about Tamatonga and Hikuleo? I don't personally see Tamatonga going to WWE at this point when they're finally giving him, an opportunity in New Japan. But I could be wrong. What are your thoughts, Felipe?
He would have to go to NXT, homie. Like, no, hell no. There ain't no way. Because as much as he's a big name, or not even a big name, he's a decent name. But we already know decent names don't transfer over really well. If Nakamura, who was literally like the Michael Jackson of Japanese wrestling, had to go to NXT, you damn well know Tama Tonga's going.
But it doesn't seem like NXT at this point is going for, the older indie guys. They're going for the younger guys that don't know their hands from their asses at this point.
That is true, but also he's gonna have to go because WWE's wanting them to wrestle in a certain way for their TV purposes,
So
Unlike New Japan, pretty much.
is Tamatonga beneficial for a WWE having him around, Scooter?
I mean, could you pass him off as another member of the Bloodline?
He's definitely a part of the club with AJ and Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah, I always kind of thought that if they put the God back together, that they would probably be the perfect replacements for Jimmy and Jay.
Well, as of right now, it doesn't seem like they're interested in uh
Tangaloa.
Tangaloa, yeah. Technically, Tangaloa was there at one point.
That is true.
Yep. He was with Hamacho. He drove the bike.
Yeah, Huniko and
And not like a motorcycle, like an actual like bicycle.
Yeah.
And then you got Hikuleo. I don't think that Hikuleo should be going to WWE when, they just gave him a win over Jay White. And obviously, they want to invest in this guy. And, I mean, that maybe down the line, but, I would personally feel like he should build to his stuff in New Japan to when WWE does call him again. It's for a big money contract and maybe not an NXT deal.
Work to get the leverage is what you're saying.
Right. What say you?
Makes sense.
What say you, Kalika?
I mean, yeah, that makes sense, unless he just wants to go over and start from scratch. If he's willing to do that, then can't knock him for it.
Screw
Honestly, I'm just not sure. He's got the staying power. Hikuleo was somebody that the WWE would have to kind of reinvent from scratch.
Not wrong. I mean, Haku's-san isn't probably going to get him as far as maybe people would like him. Maybe he could be the new commander of Sneeze.
Didn't I?
Yeah. Alright, I think that's it for the news. Now a quick word from our sponsor. So,
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off-brands out there that are presenting low-quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high-quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with NJPW New Japan Cup 2023. It's finally among us. And it's interesting. I felt the bracket was. How do you feel about the bracket, Kaliko? Because we are going to go over all the names in it.
It seems pretty fair. I am wanting to see how they're gonna go with this bracket this year. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be some interesting matchups if certain things hit, right?
Right.
The question is, will they let those things hit?
Right. Scooter, you get a chance to look at the bracket?
No.
Okay, well, here we go. March 5th is the first night of action. We'll go over the matches while we're going over the names as well. We got Sonata versus Taichi. Kaliko.
I'm fucked. So, that was the first thing I saw because I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking if Sonata wins, he's winning the whole damn thing. But if he loses,
It's right here.
um, I want Sonata to win so bad. I really want Sonata. I swear to God, I've been on the Sonata train forever. He's got this year he's gotta pop off, right? Ain't really that many challengers. I'm going Sonata. Fuck it.
Scooter, Sonata, or Taichi?
Sonata.
I think Sonata is gonna at least get out of the first
Round because
first round.
he has a better sorry to interrupt because he has a better shot and story with Kenta who gets the bye, which I'm like, what?
I guess when
Like
he wrestled Tana, that gave him a bye.
I know, I'm like, how did he get a bye?
Yeah.
Which kind of screams he's winning the title. One less match, shit.
Also on the fifth, Tetsuya Naito versus El Phantasmo. Um, who has the best odds? And what do you think about El Phantasmo versus Naito?
Depends on which Naito shows up.
Very true.
If if it's Naito with the T-shirt, yeah, Phantasmo winning. Real spit, real talk. But I'm gonna go Phantasmo. Naito's a little older. Honestly, he's not the Naito 3 years ago.
That's for sure. But and at some point somebody from Bullet Club has to step up and replace Jay at this point.
And they had a fucking rough night the last pay-per-view too.
Yeah, and I mean I love Kenta, but there's only so much he could do as just another guy in the company. You know what I mean?
True. So we're going Phantasmo.
Yeah, I think Tasmo gets the nod here. Scooter?
Yes. Phantasmo. Yeah, Phantasmo.
Which would be interesting because it's Phantasmo versus Chase Owens.
Who got a bye for some reason?
No shit. The people who got to buy, I be asking. I'm just looking like, what? Some of them I get. Some of them I'm like, what the fuck? But hey,
On the 8th, we got Ren Narita versus Evil. I think Evil's done at this point.
you think he's done?
I think he's done.
They'll change his name to Good.
Yeah.
What's a good, but what's a lesser evil?
Uh, uh,
The Diet Pepsi of evil.
Yeah.
Oh no. What was it like? You're the what was it? Just one calorie,
yeah,
not evil
yeah.
enough.
You're the Diet Coke of evil.
Quasi evil, semi evil.
Who wins? Kaliko, who do you think's gonna win?
Evil's gonna win because he's gonna be the sacrificial lamb for the next person, the next match, who gets a bye.
Scooter?
He could be they can call him Terrible.
El Terrible.
Hey.
Hey.
El Terrible.
You can have more than one. Hell, shit.
Then they could just, I'd say they call him, they can call him, Vicious? No. Wicked?
Wiggy, 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 wiggy. He could come out the future song. Wiggy, 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 wiggy.
I mean, bad?
Oh, okay, yeah. Evil, bad, cool.
Harmful?
Who wins the match, Scooter?
I know. You call him Vile.
Okay.
Acronyms, or you call them live. God, yeah, I'll give it to Narita.
And then we got Jeff Cobb, who gets a bye for some reason.
Yeah.
I think he might do something interesting in the tournament.
Hopefully that thing is lose.
Yeah. I mean, they've been treating Jeff Cobb with a certain amount of, I want to say caution that they don't, obviously they've beaten him, but, they haven't, they made it look good for him, I suppose, is the best way to say it. Alright, Troy Yano versus Mark Davis.
Yano.
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 Yeah. We got then that's Yano versus Osprey going into the 13th, I believe.
Which I think Yano might can pull that off.
He's usually the dark horse in the G1. He doesn't necessarily do well in the New Japan Cup.
Which is the switcheroo, baby. I would think he would do better in the goddamn New Japan Cup because you only got to fool motherfuckers once. At least with the G1, everybody kind of see your game at that point.
Alright, on the opposite side of the bracket, we got Yoshihashi.
Fuck Yoshihashi and his Fletcher. Just getting it out there.
Whoever wins the match wrestles Hiroki Goto. Why does Goto get a bye here?
Because he won it before? Maybe? That's what I'm saying. The people who got buys, you're like, huh?
Definitely, why? But, okay. The next match, Shingo Takagi versus Aran Hanare.
Which is interesting. Takage's got to get back on the horse, right?
I mean, I don't want to really say that he really fell off the horse to begin with. I mean, he's still the KPW, IW, whatever the name of the belt is at this point, champion. KOPW.
The KTLA champion? What?
The KTLA champion.
Yeah, Team Eagles champion.
Oh, shit.
I used to actually get KTLA in New York.
How?
I don't know, but it was Channel 3, and all the stuff I would watch in the morning, I could watch when I came home from school.
Cool. Takagi or Hanai?
I'm going to Kage.
Scooter?
Yeah, Takagi.
Agreed. Alright, whoever wins that match wrestles Tamatonga. This one actually makes sense because he has a fucking title.
Yes. There are certain ones that make sense, but the other ones, I'm like, oh, fucking.
So the next match we got up on the 6th, I believe, David Finlay versus Tomohiro Ishii. David Finlay, it seems like, sometimes they go with him, sometimes they don't, sometimes they're hot, sometimes they're cold. Um, I think he has a good chance of doing something in the tournament, but they never, capitalize on it. You know what I mean?
So you're saying he's the Katy Perry of New Japan?
No, he's the new Juice Robinson.
God damn. Did it worse than that. Shit.
Yeah. And I think he might get the win on Ishii on this one.
I can see it because Ishii gains nothing. He doesn't lose anything by losing.
True. Alright, next match.
But you forget Great Khan gets a damn bye.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, huh?
Yeah. I mean, he's the UK champion, so I guess that gives him a bye.
As long as it's not Joe, nah.
Unfortunately, he's not in the Japan anymore.
I know, but I'm just saying, I just wanted to get that out.
Alright, let's see who's next. Soda Umo versus Yujiro Takahashi.
Yujiro.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Gotta have a couple of upsets. Shit.
I felt like what's his name? Yano is upset. I mean, Tasmo is upset.
Castle's not really an upset.
I mean,
We all agree Naito ain't Naito, so what do you mean it's an upset?
I don't know. I think Soda's another guy they're going with, so I feel they're gonna give him a W here.
But what's the use of it? Because Zack Sabre Jr. is waiting on that ass. Mr. 50-50 waiting on his ass. Hello, the winner of last year?
But I mean, they could go Soda upsets Zack, and he gets a TV title, and he's right back in the mix.
Nah.
Hmm.
Nah. Nah.
I say Soda Uno's gonna do something good in the tournament. You don't seem that way. What say you, Scooter?
I say Shota.
Alright. Like I said, interesting tournament. There's no junior heavyweights this year, which I think is a
Right.
good thing. And
Yes.
the amount of filler is not as abundant as it was in previous years. I can make the argument
Well,
that Carl Fletcher and Mark Davis are fillers.
yeah, but I get why they're doing it. 'Cause, they're trying not to have the fillers because eventually they're trying to get their asses over here in the U.S. because you forget they do have Impact, they don't want to kill out all their talent because some of the talent's got to come over to LA for WrestleMania weekend. Because there's actually a show that I didn't even know that they were having with combined show with Impact, and that bitch show sold out. And I'm mad as shit. I didn't even get a ticket.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is true.
Kicking myself in my own ass as we speak.
Just going to the WWE events at this point. They're the safe bets. All the names that we said, all the matches we went through. Who could win this?
I feel like Kenta's gonna win it.
Why you say Kenta?
Bullet Club needs it desperately, and Kenta, to my knowledge, has never fought Okada for the title. I know he fought Naito, but he's never fought Okada.
No, he hasn't.
So I think that would be a new, fresh matchup.
And like you said, Bullet Club needs something at this point. I don't know. I think they have a better chance of going with El Phantasmo to go a little bit deeper into this tournament. But that's my opinion. I mean, if they're not going to go the route of Bullet Club Redemption, Sonata would have to be up there, right? Because they have not done anything with this guy in the last, 6 months?
Oh, like forever. No, they start him and stop him. They give my hopes up like he's gonna win of some shit.
Yeah.
Like when I don't want him to win, when I know he's not gonna win, they put him in the fucking finals. And then when I think he's gonna go to the fucking finals, they get him out in the first round. So your guess is good as mine. Shit. But to me, I mean, so the people that need turnover with leadership, Bullet Club, obviously, but LIJ, low key, I mean, Naito's not gonna be there forever. And unless they're gonna default to the ticking time bomb, why would it not be Sonata?
I mean, Cobb will do something in this tournament because he's Jeff Cobb. Osprey, I don't see him winning this. I don't know why, but I don't see him going deep.
Nah.
Tama.
Zack Sabre Jr. is going to make the final because he's 50-50, so he needs to lose a final since he won one.
Yeah, he's not going back to back, that's for sure.
That's the damn sure.
He's probably going to go. I think Soda's going to beat him, so I think he'll be out on the 15th.
No, I think he's making the final. He's making the final.
Okay, there's 4 blocks here. The first block, it could be Sonata, Kenta, or Tasmo. ELP. The second block, I think Cobb would be the most logical out of everyone in that block.
It could be either Cobb or Yano, depending how goofy they want to get. Straight up.
I mean, Jeff Cobb has a gripe with Yano. I believe Yano beat him the last 2 times they wrestled.
So that's why I think Yano make a run, and then Cobb gets to get back.
This third block would have to be Tama or Shingo. Because definitely not going to be Goto or Hashi.
Yeah, the winner of the winner of Takage and Tama is making the final.
Right.
Or is making the semis, regardless.
And the fourth block could be
Sabre Jr. Shota if they really believe in him.
You know,
Whoever wins.
if they don't go the route of a Gaijin and ELP in the first pack, then maybe David Finlay gets there.
Boy, stop. Boy, stop. Boy, stop.
I mean, Great-O-Khan don't do great in tournaments. Ishii don't need it. Takahashi's not going to do it. And Zack won it last year, so it's either Finlay or Soda.
But I think Xavier makes it because they think he's going to repeat and loses. Xavier's making the semis. I can't see him not making, because there's nobody in that semis that you could literally think who's going to do it other than Zack Sabre.
What say you, Scooter?
Oh man. Okay. Hmm.
The Bango Bros?
I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be Tamatonga Kenta.
Interesting. Okay. Alright. Well, we will definitely see. I mean, the last one, the finals is on the 21st. So, interesting. Alright, I believe that will conclude our coverage of NJPW New Japan Cup, and this episode as a whole.
Marathon.
Yeah. Of course, thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, comment, put on YouTube and Castbox. Of course, this was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview Erica Damia, and on Wednesday, Josh Breezy. And next Saturday, as we review the Elimination Chamber, that's going to be on in a couple hours as we speak. You can follow the show at Wrestling with Eva on Twitter and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and a hell of a lot more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Kaliko?
You can follow me as I make my big old conclusion of Sami Zayn winning the title tomorrow, or actually tonight, at I Am Kaliko. He's winning tonight. I think he's going to win.
Doubt that, but we'll talk about that next week.
You want to buy a bridge?
Alright, and where can we find Scooter?
As always, find me on Twitter at ScooterDust. The future of the remix still up in the air. Hopefully, we will be back up, or at least do a one-off for Mania. And of course, the final 2 episodes of my Dungeons & Dragons campaign over on Smoky Dragons is coming to an end. The episodes premiere, 9th episode's premiering tonight, and next week is the finale. So join me along with Rico Constantino Jr. and the rest of Smoky Dragons clan, twitch.tv/Smoking Dragons.
Alright, for Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.